I wanted to do this video here because this needs to be seen, okay? I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'll leave the link underneath the video no more so that you can see it for yourself, but there's a valid point here, okay? This case could have been a slam dunk for New York Police Department had it not been for one thing. The video showing police claims of disorderly conduct during the OWS protest, that's right, the Occupy Wall Street protest, to be completely untrue. That's right, so the cops reports what the cop arrested the protesters for, hundreds of them, was completely untrue. They made up lies, okay, to arrest people for raises and promotions. And if it wasn't for videotape proving the protesters did not do as the cops said, the cops would have gotten by with prosecuting people for bogus charges. As far as I'm concerned, these cops should be fired immediately. They should not ever be allowed to be in law enforcement ever again. They should now be civilians. Okay? But my real point here is this is the reason we see more and more states going to trying to make it illegal, like in Illinois, for a civilian to videotape a cop. You know, in Illinois, they'll say, well, without the cop's permission, if you're a civilian and you videotape them, it's a felony. You get punished and go to prison. They're going to prosecute you and try to put you in prison for it, okay? But yet they'll have their film going in their car, and they'll be videotaping you without your permission. Do you see the double standard there? The law says you have to have permission from somebody to videotape somebody. Okay, I can accept that. But there's a problem here. If the law clearly states that, like in Illinois, for example, then when the cop pulls up and his video camera is running filming you, he's already broke the law and he needs to be prosecuted and lose his badge right there and then. Why? Because he's broke the law. He didn't get your permission before filming you. And when you say, no, he has the right because he's a cop, you're full of shit. You're fucking full of shit. He don't have the right to break the law because he's a cop. His job is to uphold the law, which means he should be obeying the law as an example. A good example of a cop would be cop, sheriff, deputy, whoever you are. You uphold the law and you're an example of upholding the law because you're a law enforcement, right? But that's not the case. Right here is the real reason. This story right here is the real reason that police do not want to be filmed. Because, see, videotape's powerful evidence. But see, you know, there's people out here that are lame will say that, well, it's because when you're videotaping a cop, you're interfering with the cop and he could get hurt while he's doing his job because you're interfering. No, if I'm standing over on the curve and have nothing to do with the scene and I'm videotaping it, I'm not interfering with shit. And if a civilian on the street actually attacked the cop and I was videotaping it and the cop had to defend himself and his squad car wasn't catching it because it was alongside the car where the camera wasn't pointing, and I was standing over on the curb filming it, that videotape that I filmed would have protected the cop in the court. When the civilian lied and said the cop attacked him when he actually attacked the cop, the videotape would be played in court showing him attack the cop and the cop defend himself, and it would save the cop, okay? But it also works in reverse. If the cop breaks the law and tasers the guy for no reason or the girl for no reason at all, just because they can, or like in the BART train station incident where the cop pulled the gun out and clearly shot the guy who done nothing and killed him, then the videotape works in reverse. See, it clears the innocent. See, and there's only one reason that they don't want people filming them. Right here. Because they're actually criminals. A cop's job nowadays in the United States is to enforce tyranny, to enforce slavery, tyranny, depression, to enslave you. Cops really actually work for criminal corporations, criminal politicians, criminal bankers and governments, This is who the cops protect and serve, as criminals. The cop's job is not to protect and serve the public. It's to protect and serve corporations, politicians, and criminals. That's the reason there's so much tyranny going on. Because what a cop really is tyranny enforcement. Because if a cop was actually upholding laws, then when a crooked politician or a crooked banker says you do this, the cop would arrest them. That's right, the cop would arrest them. The cop wouldn't follow the orders. But the reason the cop follows the orders is because they hire dumb idiots. You can't be an intelligent person and understand right from wrong and become a cop in the United States. They want somebody who's stupid, somebody who's a sheep, somebody who just follow orders. And of course, because cops get the raises and promotions based on how many arrests they make. That's right. This is where they get the real promotions and raises from. They're not against arresting you, even if you didn't do nothing. They don't mind lying and making up a charge against you. If it gets them a fucking promotion or raise, they don't mind. They don't mind at all. But it also makes them a criminal. It's one of the reasons you've heard me say we live in a lawless land. Because technically we do. Because the laws were supposed to apply to everybody, including politicians, presidents. That's right. When laws don't apply to people because of a position, like you're a congressman, you're a senator, you're a president, well, when the laws don't apply to you because of that position, then the laws don't apply to nobody. End of story. They apply to absolutely nobody. Because either the laws that are made apply to everybody, including the people making them, or they apply to absolutely nobody. End of story. But anyhow, I want to show you this because the real truth behind the state of Illinois and New York and any other state that picks up and says you're not allowed to film a cop on duty without their permission, the real reason for that is right here. Right here in this article. Because they want to be able to be criminals. Because they are criminals. They're criminals wearing badges. And what few good cops are left, they do the right thing. Law enforcement has a tendency of firing them, putting them on a desk job, suppressing them down because they're actually doing the right thing. And the reason they do that is because, once again, they're being controlled by criminals. Okay, that's the gist of it, okay? So what you're looking at is corporation, legislation, enforcement. Enforcing tyranny and enslavement on the people. Don't think a cop's there to protect and serve the public, because he's not. He's there to protect and serve bankers, politicians, corporations, and criminals. End of story.